I went to sit out on my porch, and then a bunch of enemies came by, planning assassination attempts. And I'm just sitting outside reading my Bible, as I had prayed for God to direct my steps. And the neighbor starts to leave, and the police fly out and chase him into the parking lot, and they're getting arrested. The sirens are really short. Yeah, they were leaving when I came outside. I was sitting on my front porch for a couple of minutes. And this car here pulled into the neighbor's driveway to spy on me. That car it's blue. It's a pale blue, which means that they're a little more covert. This is probably related to the Blue Gang. So that is a car I've never seen. It was just parked right next door when I was sitting outside. Bikers going by. It was beautiful. I go sit outside, they leave, just go around the edge of the block, and then I hear police sirens, and they go. We don't want to see people get hurt. We don't want to see people get the karma. This vehicle had been smashed up in the front. This karma originally, and then a few days ago, their car was much more damaged, and it sounded like it needed repairs. And then today, they must have been wanting to take out revenge. I could go right back out on my porch, but I don't think I should. I think it's a little better in here. When I saw this, I went inside. That blue house there, I believe they stay at that blue house. That blue house was owned by, well, I don't know if it was owned, but a head witch used to live there when I first moved into town. And they might have been in the bed and housebound. And within the last 6 months, they left. Within the last 6 months, they left. And then I believe somebody owns this property and they rent it out. So there was a head witch living here. There were police there. There were ambulances the next day. And then it was cleaned up and posted for rent. One of the men who tried to murder me when I went to the soup kitchen was actually working on this house and saw where I lived. This is a sign for all the people out there that God protects me. They send thousands of people after me. They send thousands of people after me. But no one will be able to take me down. And it's through no power of my own. It's because I serve the one true living God, creator of the universe and master of the day of judgment, the God of the Jews, the Christians, and the Muslims. The God of Abraham is the God I serve, and the God who will protect me. And so the enemies come after me, but they will not succeed. If I just happened to have this camera ready when they pulled up, it was something out of an action film. It was perfect. And actually, right before I went out, I had prayed to God. Nothing fancy. I'm not good at that. So the Lord gave me a book of prayers, which I haven't read yet. I just got this yesterday. So I do need to probably work on my prayers because I'm not too familiar with it. But I did pray that the Lord lead, guide, and direct my steps today. And so I decided to sit out front on my stair. I've got steps here. I was just sitting on the higher steps Not even the lower ones, because they do try to run me over. I'm not too concerned, but it just makes more sense to sit up here, sitting out here a few minutes, and then this happens. So it wasn't before I went outside. It was a couple of minutes after I went outside. But also crossed the street to drop something off at the neighbor's house. I crossed the street to drop something off at the neighbor's house. And then a bunch of cars kept going back and forth down this road like they were trying to hit me. And so they were just waiting to see me go outside and then send their assassins. So I sat outside the first time, and I ate a can of fruit. The red cars, blue cars, spies, driving back and forth, the same white SUVs. Then I go back in for a minute, grab my Bible, come right back out. And that's when all this occurs. So I thought the Lord wanted me to sit out front reading the Bible to let people know what the source of my power is. This person, I have no idea how, has been trying to take me out, has been trying to attack me, because I've been seeing the karma. They actually have to show me what karma they get when their car gets smashed up, it gets body damage. Then they have to drive right in front of me to make sure I see. And then, like 2 days ago, the front of the car was much more smashed in. And then they were leaving today. There was a sound like there was engine problems, or maybe the belt was squealing. And so they were planning something. This was the third time. They were given 3 chances. The Lord gave this person at least 3 chances because of the karma they had to show me. There was an arrest made about 3 blocks down on my road yesterday. So what happens is they send people to get me, and then they come for revenge. I don't even know that these people are sent to destroy me, to murder me. The police take them out, they get arrested, and then they send more. They send more assassins, and those assassins get their karma. The YouTube comments several days ago, I had mentioned that I was the Messiah, and God had told me I was the Christ. And so there was testing going on, because the test was, if a person claims to be Messiah and they are killed, they are not Messiah, they are not Mashiach. So now the Blue Gang, which might be the Crips, were trying to take me out, and this was a separate thing, as a local gang member had to step down. And new leadership came in, and they were still not able to take me out, so they've been in town a couple weeks. And then when I mentioned something criticizing the use of witchcraft within Judaism, and Israel was using witchcraft and threatening people that don't help. I'm not talking about the people, I'm talking about the nation of Israel was using witchcraft. And I said this on Facebook, and they tried to take me out. But part of that is a duty to test and make sure that I'm not lying. But there are other ways to do that than by killing people. It clearly says not to kill the prophets. It's the disbelievers that reject God's anointed. They kill the prophets. And that is what But the prophets are able to be killed, but not the Messiah. The Messiah will not be killed. And they've all tried, but they will fail. Yeah, that house there is the witch house. When I moved in, there was a head witch or warlock who was probably bedridden living in this house. I know because they had groceries delivered there, they never came outside. And when I prayed to return the street to the kingdom of God, and to remove demonic altars, to burn demonic altars on the street, then the next day there was police surrounding this property with drawn guns. And the day after that, there was an ambulance and someone was taken out on a stretcher. So then no one lived here for several months, and they cleaned it up and rented it out again. While the house was being cleaned up, Nicodemus, who tried to murder me at a church, they believe that through murdering Christ they get into heaven. Nicodemus believes in the elements, the sun, moon, wind, and stars. He does not believe in God. I got to speak to this man. And maybe he does believe in God now, because he was not able to kill me. He clearly said this. But the church hired a man who does not believe in God to kill me so that they could enter heaven, when all they had to do was repent and follow the Lord. And that man was working on this house and saw me outside. And he was curious. Now, I'm not sure if he tried to take me out again, but he saw that I was very much still alive several months later, and maybe this will lead him to faith in God. I don't know what's happening. I'm just going to keep recording for a little while. I can only record for a few more minutes before it's going to time out. The memory card can only hold so much data, and this is an old camera. This is the type of thing that happens every day of my life. I don't have a cell phone. Normally I'm out. I don't have a camera ready when people get arrested. But I just happened to be sitting out front. I ran in the house and I grabbed my camera. So some of these people are just going through, but I believe that they're spying. They're checking to see what's going on, and I can't blame them, because I want to know what's going on too. But I know this person was trying to do something to me, probably trying to murder me, would be the guess. It doesn't mean they would directly do it. All of these groups that don't like each other are working together to try to take me out. Nothing much is going on right now, so hi baby. Now, this is a very old camera. If I tap a button to focus, then it will stop recording. Look at this. This is the love of my life. You are forbidden from harming this precious angel who is a gift from God. And they've been using witchcraft to make these two fight, but there's some dominance battles. These blankets are down here. They got them dirty, but they like to lay on them, so. I don't know what's going on. I actually went out in my backyard before I went out front today, and I saw a red vehicle Through the fence, I saw a red vehicle go past. It was driving slowly. And then it blew. As they watched me, they must have like a heat or motion detecting, like a heat sensing camera, so they can tell when I go outside, and then they send their vehicles. I watched them the other day and see what they do. They go real slow and they just circle my block, so they're already in the vicinity. So I know how, when they take a hit out on someone else, I know how they do it. God showed me how they do it. This gang, the blue gang, likes to run people over on the road, hit and runs. But this is why they don't want those cameras everywhere right now. The cameras were fine when they were harassing citizens, but now they're being used to catch the criminals, and they don't like them very much anymore. They knew this would be Judgment Day. The police are using these cameras to catch the people that are trying to murder the remnant here in the end times. And all the bad things they say about police. The police are also heroes. And that is why the communists don't like the police. They want the police to run everything, but they don't like the police. Because they've been doing God's work, they've been protecting me, they've been arresting the criminals, they've been arresting the murderers. So we can be thankful to the police. Just in time.